This is the Nomadic Traveler Podcast. Welcome to Nomadic Traveler Podcast. I am your host, Jason, and our wonderful co-host is here with me.
Nicole, here I am.
And we have an episode about how to save money for travel. You know, because we've been kind of thinking about it, and we're like, we always, talk about travel and, ways that it benefits you and your life and stress and all the different wonderful things that travel does for you. But we never really covered, how do you save up for a trip? How do you get ready for that trip? How do you have the money to go on that amazing trip that you want to go on?
Yeah. And is it doable for everybody?
And Nicole's here to tell us how. So how do we do it, Nicole?
Oh, yeah, I have all the answers. Yeah. So, there's lots of ways to do it. If you guys have any other ways after listening to this, please let us know. But we just came up...
nomadictravelerpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, thank you. But we just came up with some ideas that we've kind of learned and some things that we've read and researched about as far as like how to get there with your trip. So first, we're going to kind of talk about ways to save money before a trip. So
how to save up money?
Yeah, what do you think the first step will be, Jason?
Well, the one thing I spend a lot of money on is gas.
Okay.
I spend a ton of money on fuel, so if I could figure out a way to maybe save some money on fuel, that might help divert more money into the travel coffers.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I got a solution for that.
Oh,
Are you ready?
What is it?
Is
it Gas Buddy?
Is it you blew my bubble. Okay, yeah. So there is an app that I found. It's called Gas Buddy. You can get it on Android or iPhone. And what you do is you just kind of let it connect to your location so it knows where you are. And then you can use it to find the cheapest gas near you. And
if you haven't used Gas Buddy before, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
So, especially when you're on a long trip, you can look, maybe 25 miles ahead or so, 50 miles ahead and see, where is the best prices on gas coming up. And maybe you need to stop a little earlier. So maybe if you're going into a big city and the prices are going up, maybe the prices are as low as they can be right now. So as you're approaching the city, maybe you should go ahead and get gas early.
Yeah.
Such as if you're driving through like maybe Atlanta or something like that. If you're heading down to Florida and you're heading through Atlanta, you better get gas before you go through Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then get gas after you go through Atlanta instead of waiting and using every last drop that's in your tank. And then you have to stop in the middle of Atlanta and you're paying premium prices.
Yeah. Right. And then also I think that helps too with you're not going to run out of gas because sometimes you're on a long trip and you're like, oh, I got plenty of time to get gas. And then
it helps to know where the gas stations are for sure.
You're wondering where they are. So it helps with that too. But yeah, I think that especially when we do talk about travel trailers and towing stuff and the amount of gas that can take, this could really save you for sure.
For sure.
So yeah, check out Gas Buddy. It's a good one. We also found another app called the Hopper.
What's the Hopper?
Helps you learn how to hop from your destinations.
Sweet.
Just kidding.
I could do that.
So it's kind of like, Expedia or something like that out there, where you can try to find hotels that will be as cheap as they can be for you. So rooms that have not sold on a expensive night where everybody's kind of busy, but there might be a few extra rooms left. It'll try to help you find that. The cool thing about this, as opposed to Expedia, is that it's an app, so you can put that on your phone, and then you just put in your destination or whatever, and it'll tell you, and it'll give you alerts as you're getting closer to that destination. So if you don't want to pick until you get closer, it'll give you an alert, boom, this hotel room just popped up,
and it's cheaper
at this cheaper price, blah 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 blah. Or if you so if you can go in there and kind of put in where you're going and how many people there are, blah blah blah. And then you put that in there and it'll kind of give you, they call them push notifications that tell you where the cheap hotels are. So I thought that was kind of cool.
It does it for airlines as well or just hotels?
I think it does both. I don't really know. I didn't venture into that part of it. I just looked at the hotel part.
I believe it does do airlines as well.
I think it does too, but I didn't really research that part super well.
So I think you can say, well, I want to go from Indianapolis to say Fort Myers or something like that. And it will, I think you can put in that destination and it will pop up the day when the price is the lowest. And it'll say, hey, you should book today for that trip coming up in September or whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, that is another thing. People always talk about, finding when the cheapest days are to go somewhere. Obviously, the weekends are going to be the most expensive. And a lot of articles talked about kind of trying to plan your trip midweek if you can, like maybe a Wednesday to Wednesday.
Yeah, I've definitely found that you should definitely travel during the week. So if you can leave on a Tuesday, it's much less expensive than leaving on a Saturday or a Friday.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to fly on a Friday or a Sunday if you can
Even
avoid
hotels. Hotels are more expensive too.
Yeah.
So they all work on peak demand pricing. So when there's the highest demand, their prices are the highest. So when there's the lowest demand, their prices are lower.
Yeah. And you know what? A lot of attractions and like things like that are becoming more attuned to that schedule. Like I know the Indianapolis Zoo, the days where it's more packed and more busy, they charge you more money.
Really?
Than a normal day. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of crappy.
Yeah,
No.
it's based on the it's based on the amount of the attendance sometimes. What their pricing is. So that's a good thing to check out.
I'm very disappointed with you, Indianapolis, so don't be doing that. That's shady. We don't like that.
That's a whole nother podcast. I got a lot of things to say about that.
Don't be doing that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a few little apps out there. There's other apps out there. I found a lot of hotel apps, a lot of, things like that. But these were just kind of the two that I felt were my favorite. I know Gas Buddy is trusted. I've used that a lot. Hopper is cool too. But
I think Hotel Tonight can be another good one too.
Hotel what?
Hotel Tonight.
Oh, okay.
So if you kind of travel by the seat of your pants like I like to,
yeah,
you can use Hotel Tonight, and it'll show you like hotels that like have openings tonight, and they're looking to book up tonight. So they're willing to give them up at a discount because they want to be full.
Sure. Yeah. Get that room used. And didn't you say you use the Good Sam app too?
I use Good Sam a lot, and if you are traveling with like your travel trailer, Good Sam can be a good way to find cheap places to stay in your travel trailer. I think you get 10% off. Let me see. Hang on. I think I got it on here.
Yeah, there's so for people who don't know what Good Sam is, it's a membership you can buy.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so I got it's a membership. You get 10% off at on camping at parks that are Good Sam memberships. So and the app also will show you all the Good Sam parks like that are coming up. So it's just like Gas Buddy. You can look at your route, and if you're going down, say, Interstate 75 or something like that, you can look at your route and look at gas prices going down your route. Well, you can kind of do the same thing with like campgrounds. You can look ahead of you, and you can try to say, okay, well, we want to stop in about 200 miles if you're on a trip, and you can book something, to stay that's right off the interstate. So this is not going to get you into a premium campground. This isn't going to get you to that beach spot that you're looking for. Those you still need to book months in advance. But if you're just out traveling and you're just looking for a one-night stay over, this could really be a good way to find things. So
does it tell you on the app, like, what types of sites are available? Like maybe 50 amp, 30 amp, camping, RV?
I think it does. So I think it'll say, there's, 300 sites at this place. They offer 50, they offer 30, they offer, sewer spots, full hookups.
Nice.
And if they have, swimming pool, little things like that.
Okay, that's cool.
So, and then they also, at part of the Good Sam membership, you also get 10% off at Camping World and Gander Mountain.
Oh.
One of the kind of lesser known things that Camping World membership gets you that I think a lot of people don't realize is because mainly people use it for like Camping World, I think. So one of the big discounts is you can get 5 cents off on gas and 8 cents off on diesel at all the Pilot and Flying J locations. So that saves you a ton of money when you're traveling. So that's one of the big things that makes a huge difference. So you also get free shipping on all orders over $49 that you order from campingworld.com. 65%, save over 65% on Good Sam's Guide Series.
Huh.
I don't know what that is. Good Sam RV Travel and Savings Guide. So you get a discount on their big giant catalog, I guess. They also offer trip planning with like mileage calculations and driving time. You also get 15% off on propane. So if you fill up on propane there, you get 15% off. They offer free dump for your RV and or your boat at all of the stations with privileges. So, it's kind of nice for stuff like that too, because I've stayed, in a primitive spot before one night, and then you're traveling through, you can stop at a Good Sam, lighten up your load.
Drop it off.
Yeah.
And how much is the membership? Is it yearly, monthly?
It's yearly.
Okay.
I think you can buy it 1, 2, and 3 year. And I want to say it's like $30 if you buy it 1 year, $50 if you buy 2 years, and $75 if you buy 3. And I believe if you buy the 2 year, you get a $25 merchandise gift certificate.
Wow.
And if you buy the 3 year, you get a $50 merchandise gift certificate.
So that covers almost all.
So so you can pay for 3 years at a time, and as long as you make sure that you use your $50 certificate, you're really only paying $25 for 3 years.
Wow. So it's very inexpensive.
So yeah, and I also have a Good Sam credit card as well, and you get points on fuel and shopping at Camping World and Gander, and if you save up enough points on that, then you can also get free memberships. So I use mine. You can get all kinds of different things, but I use mine very frequently to just keep my Good Sam membership going, and then I don't have to pay anything for it.
Right. That's wonderful.
So
you're going to had a credit card.
Yeah, you're going to be buying that fuel and stuff like that anyways, so you may as well just do it. You get some points added up, and then I haven't paid for my Good Sam membership in quite a while now.
Wow.
So you get all the benefits of it, and I don't really even need to pay for it.
Yeah. I think even just to have that the app where you can see the upcoming campground, I think that's worth it, even if you don't get the discount.
Yeah.
I mean.
So and they've got all the phone numbers on there, so you can call them up, you can book, and so.
Yeah.
It really helps. It's very helpful.
Perfect.
For sure.
Awesome.
So
yeah, lots of good apps out there.
Yeah. And then they also, one of the other things I was thinking about is they also have the KOA memberships. I am less familiar with those because I do not have a KOA membership, but I believe it also gets you say 10% off. I don't think it's very much.
Okay.
It says a family membership is $50 per year and a single membership is $25 per year.
Oh, wow. That's not bad.
And if you want a lifetime membership to KOA for your entire family, it is $500.
Wow. That's it.
So, and I don't know, no annual dues or renewals, never pay any increased dues, lifetime membership card and certificate, receive 15% discount on all KOA sponsored national events such as East Coast and West Coast camping registration fees.
Wow.
Lifetime members are invited to board meetings and advisory councils. Interesting.
That's wonderful.
So I think you get to vote. Yeah, the right to vote at any KOA election or organizational action that requires a membership vote. Individual dues members get 1 vote. Families get 2 votes.
Wow. That is so cool. You know what? Something comes to mind is with this kind of thing is, when people are always like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? You have no idea. What if you're like, hey, I want a Good Sam membership. It's $30.
Yeah, that would be a good thing.
Or
almost anybody can afford to get you that.
Or if you're just like, what do I want to get my dad for Father's Day? I don't know. But he likes to go camping.
What do you want to get your favorite podcast host? Jason needs a KOA membership.
A lifetime membership. That's what's
lifetime
up.
membership, y'all.
Yeah, because, or even just the parks passes too. I know those can be inexpensive, but those are great gifts too.
Yeah, those are good ones as well.
Things to put on your wish list.
For sure.
That we don't really always think about, but even $500, that's not bad at all.
So membership through installment plan with an additional $200 payment and 3 additional payments of $100 within a calendar year. So for an extra $100, they'll let you spread your membership payment out.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
That's not bad though. Not at
all.
all.
Give you a souvenir as a token of the appreciation.
That's awesome.
Very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, those are just a few kind of apps or things, little tricks of the trade. But now we're kind of going to go into ways to save money before you go on the trip. So where are you going to start out? Thinking about trips and how expensive they are. And then also, you're taking time off of work. So if you don't have a paid leave or whatever, that's another thing to think about. So just thinking of all these things, it seems maybe overwhelming. So where do you start, right?
I would say bank account.
Yeah. So creating that budget so that you know what you need in your bank account.
So first of all, you say, I need $3,000 for this
Yeah.
trip or whatever.
Right. Yeah. You're going to calculate, how much time you need off of work and if that's going to cost you anything, and then how much your trip's going to cost you as far as food, everything else.
So I need 5 days off and $3,000.
Yes. That's
Okay. Check.
Sounds about right. Okay. So then from there, you can, suggested to kind of open a dedicated vacation banking account. So an account that is only for vacations.
Do you have any banks that you recommend? Is there anybody that has special accounts?
I cannot recommend a special account. I know a lot of the banks do have special like credit cards that you can get too for vacation. So that's another thing.
Such as a Good Sam card?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later on a little bit more too. But I don't know that there's any like dedicated vacation bank accounts, but if you can just create a bank account, a lot of people can like link them to your current bank account, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to set up an automatic transfer between accounts. This used to be kind of a hassle, but now you can just call up your bank or talk to them, go
That's
inside.
easy, yeah.
Yeah, sign a paper and just say, hey, I want to transfer money every time I get paid. So if you get paid the first and third Friday of the month or whatever, just have that money transferred over every time.
How much do you recommend transferring over?
Well, depends on how much money you want to save.
$500 a week?
Sure, if you got it like that.
Well, so I was thinking you could do $50 a week, and that'd be $100 per paycheck, and then that would work out to be $2,600 a year that you'd be putting away.
That's a decent amount of money.
So, I mean, it's putting aside a little bit of money every week, but if you can really, what does everybody always pick on? Starbucks?
Yeah.
So if you can cut out the Starbucks,
Yes.
cut out, I don't know, the Marlboros.
Yeah. Or, sodas.
So
Pick up
soda
soda at
pop,
the gas station.
or even just like gas station coffees and stuff like that.
Lottery tickets.
It all adds up. But if you play the lottery, you might win the million, and then you can really afford to travel all the time. I mean, come on.
You know what? If that's
what I want. I want to win that million.
If that's your goal.
That's my goal.
All right. Okay, then that's not what you remove.
I don't play that much lotto, really.
It does talk about, though, some different things that you can try to reduce to increase your cash flow. So limiting your subscriptions. So, like, Netflix, Hulu, gym membership, like all these monthly things that come out of your account.
You could definitely cut out that gym membership.
Well, especially in the summertime, or if you live somewhere that's warm all the time, spend more time outside doing
You can
things
take that
outside.
walk outside.
Yeah, climb the stairs at the Capitol building, or, yeah, I see people doing that all the time.
Go downtown and run up and down the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, there's things to do. But yeah, like a lot of people have Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and Amazon TV and all those things. Like, can you live with just a couple of them for maybe 6 months?
Or a year.
Or forever. Cable is another thing. So reducing your cable as well. That's something that...
Cut that cord.
Yeah.
Get rid of that cable bill.
Can you do it?
Can you do it?
Can you do it?
I cannot do it. I'm weak. But I am looking into it, though. So
Yeah.
You're on notice, DirecTV. You're about to go.
You're about to get cut.
You're about to get cut because I am getting really worn out on the high costs. So if anybody has any good experiences out there with anything, I personally have been looking at Sling. I've been considering doing Sling. So if anybody has, I know Netflix is awesome, so you don't need to message me and say, you should do Netflix. I know I should do Netflix.
Yes.
But I'm looking at maybe doing Sling or something like that to try to maybe substitute the cable. I'm trying to, maybe get away with definitely less than $50 a month. So, hopefully somewhere around $25 a month. And then if you have, an internet bill of maybe $50 a month, then, all your entertainment budget should be less than $75 a month.
Yeah. And I know they talked in the articles too about like sharing subscriptions too. So find someone that you want to share your... Most people do that anyway.
That's where I get my Netflix from.
But they're Netflix, they're Hulu.
It's shared.
I've even heard that there's some cables that you can like, so if one person owns the cable and has a login, you can share that login with someone else and you can watch different channels. You can't watch everything live, but you can watch recorded channels basically.
Yeah.
From your TV. So there's a little tip there if you just cannot cut the cable completely out.
Well, see, if you're trying to save $100 a check and you cut your cable out, then that should be at least $100 right there. So you're already
Right.
halfway there.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
You're halfway to a $2,600 vacation a year. Halfway there.
Well, and that's the other thing we have to think about too is, like you said, internet. And so I know a lot of people are doing the whole using their phone as a hotspot. If you can get away with that. I mean, I know some people have, like, obviously we do podcasting and things like that. So it's not like you can just cut out internet.
Yeah, we
completely.
definitely have to have internet here.
But I mean, some people are able to do that if you are, or, you live next door to Starbucks and you can do all your business there, or whatever the case may be, or share Wi-Fi with your neighbor. I've heard people do that too.
Yeah.
If you can cut costs there, that's a good idea.
So I've been thinking about trying to get rid of like extra things that I have, because I've had a travel trailer for a long time, and over the years I've collected various little things that don't necessarily apply, or I don't necessarily need them anymore. Like one of the big things is I have extra 30 amp cords now. My new camper is a 50 amp camper, so I do not need the 30 amp cords anymore. So I have two different 50-foot lengths of 30 amp cord that I cannot use. I have a 50 or a 30 amp surge protector. I have jacks now that I was going to put on my other camper that I no longer need. So there's all these little things. So I'm thinking about either doing a garage sale or getting rid of some stuff on Let Go or Craigslist or
That's
something like
another
that.
idea. Yeah, for sure. Getting rid of things that you don't need.
And if you can sell a bunch of stuff, then you're all that much closer to taking that next trip.
And getting a smaller place, maybe. That too.
Yeah.
Because it costs us to have stuff.
Yes, it does.
Right? Even after we've already bought it.
Way too much.
And then moving it, if you ever have to move.
Moving's expensive.
Oh, gosh.
Everything's
Yeah.
expensive, really.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good options. Speaking of your home, they did talk about, I know a lot of people know what Airbnb is. So
you can Airbnb out your place.
you can, especially if you live somewhere close to like a popular event or something like that. Even if you don't always Airbnb, but maybe you Airbnb for this weekend or that weekend or whatever.
I mean, I've been just looking at the statistics. I can't talk right now.
It's okay.
I've been looking at the stats. And it's been saying that even if you're not in a super popular area, you can still Airbnb your place. So there's still people that are looking to, like, if you live out in the country, there's still people that are looking to go out to the country.
Yeah, just experience that.
They want to go out and get away, and they want to shut off for a little while. They want to have, a phone-free weekend or something like that. So it does not necessarily have to be a big city. It doesn't have to be a beach spot. You can Airbnb your place no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
So, and again, you do that a few times, you're a lot
paying your
closer
rent.
to your $2,600 vacation. So.
Right, yeah. I think that's a wonderful idea. I do know a family that lives kind of close to me that they do that. So they Airbnb a room, 2 people all the time. They still live in the house. It's just the one room.
Yeah.
And that's how they pay their rent. Or their mortgage, I should say.
Very interesting.
So every month they are able to pay their mortgage simply by Airbnb.
Very crafty. I like it.
And they have a family, so it's not... I mean, they're able to figure it out with the family.
And they feel comfortable with their kids being around strangers and stuff like that?
I don't know how they
That's
do
okay?
it, but they do it. I thought that was the craziest
Does
thing.
it have a separate entrance or anything? Or
No, it doesn't. Nope. I think they kind of, I don't know if they interview the people or how they feel comfortable, but they do. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing it, but...
Well, maybe we'll see if we can get them to come on the show and talk about how they use Airbnb to help pay their mortgage and or pay for a vacation.
Yeah,
So.
that'd be wonderful. So then another thing that I've noticed a lot popping up is gardens and growing gardens. So they talked about how you can kind of grow your own food.
If you can grow
save
your own
money.
food, you could definitely save yourself some money on that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be like raising cows in the city or something.
No, but you could grow,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I was thinking tomatoes, but tomatoes is kind of boring.
I mean, well, all kinds of vegetables. You can grow zucchini, cucumber. You can grow cabbage. You can grow Swiss chard. Very easy to grow.
Think I could grow heads of lettuce in my yard? I wonder if I could get away with that.
That would be awesome.
Grow me some heads of lettuce out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, or even just like saving money on spices and herbs. Herbs are easy. You can put that in you don't even have to have a yard.
Yeah, true.
You grow that in your house, and that's one less thing you have to buy.
Fresh herbs.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing I like about that, that we're going to get to in a minute, is like keeping yourself entertained while you're trying to save money.
Yeah, I used to always try to go all winter long without like doing anything, which I know that's super boring and it kind of sucks, but I would try to save as much money as possible and work, 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 work. And, that's when I would sit at home and watch movies or, go and find an indoor playground somewhere to go to with your children or something like that. Find,
Yeah.
something like that to go do. And I would just try to bank as much money as possible so I had more money to spend during the summertime when I wanted to do everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because a lot of times you find yourself, oh, I just want to do something. I just want to get out. And you find yourself spending money in the middle of winter and you're like, that wasn't even that much fun. I just kind of threw money away. And
Yeah, you go to the movies one time and you spend $200 go to the movies and eating popcorn.
that movie wasn't even that good.
I didn't even like it.
Are you spending $200 on a movie? We're going to have a talk.
Well, I'm thinking if you're like a family of 5,
Oh,
it costs $10, $12, $15 to get in. I don't know how much it costs.
true.
Haven't been in a long time.
Going to see Jurassic Park.
But yeah. So that is one thing that I was kind of thinking about too. Is I found this website for Indianapolis. It's called Indy with Kids. Which other cities I'm sure have replicable things. But it is a website. It's a woman, and she just started out posting things that she found around Indianapolis to do with her kids, and it got so popular. Then she created like a blog. And a Facebook page, and then eventually, she's been on the local news here a couple times, and
Dang, good for her.
yeah, and so she's created a whole business of it, where basically, she gets advertisement for going places, but she has lists of all kinds of things on there. I found last year we went to a glow park thing, where it was free. You show up. It was at night. They had a band, like a live band, and they just like had glow paint everywhere. They would spray it at you. You could go in these tents and write with glow. You're supposed to wear all white. It's like a black light kind of thing.
That's kind of cool.
And outdoor movies, indoor playgrounds that are free. There's this one place that's like an indoor sandbox. So like if you can't get to the beach or you're frustrated during wintertime, you want to get out, it's just a giant indoor sandbox thing you could take your kid to for free.
That's in Indianapolis as well?
I don't know if it's Indianapolis. I think it's like Martinsville. It's really close to Indianapolis.
Cool, though.
But just so many things on there that you can do to help keep your kids entertained too, yourself and your kids and your family.
They actually have a lot more indoor parks too than you realize. I never realized there were that many around, but there is a handful.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then now they've created all those splash pads. I don't know how many other cities have them. I've seen them in Cincinnati before. And
That's a
Louisville.
good outlet during the summer. Mm-hmm. Save you a little bit of money there instead of paying to go do something else. Just take them to a splash pad for the day.
Yeah, instead of going to a water park or something like that, you just go to splash pad, bring a picnic,
As long as the young kids are out playing, that's all they really care. They just want to spend time with mom and dad and get out and do something, and they're happy. They're running around. They're wasting energy.
Yes.
That's all it really is about when you have kids, is just trying to get them to waste some energy.
Yeah, and then you're like keeping them in, and they're not like, oh, I want to go to the store and get a new toy, or all the things that when they're just bored that they want.
Yeah. Well, we can't do that, but we can go to the splash pad. How would you like that?
Yeah. So I think that's an excellent way to save money and keep yourself entertained while you're getting ready to plan for this vacation. So,
Well, one thing that I do?
What do you do?
I have a Hilton card.
Oh, okay.
So I have a Hilton credit card, and I have an Hilton Honors membership. So the Honors membership you can get just by signing up. It's just like a rewards membership. It's kind of like having the rewards card for the grocery store. And you track all of your points every time you go stay at a Hilton branded hotel. And underneath the Hilton banner, they have, a ton of different hotels. So they have, of course, all of the Hilton branded hotels. So Hilton Hotels and Resorts, there is 570 Hilton properties. They also have the Waldorf Astoria Hotels and Resorts, which are very nice. They're a little pricey, but it's a very nice stay. Nice. They have the Conrad Hotels and Resorts. They have Canopy by Hilton. They have Curio Collection by Hilton. They have Doubletree by Hilton, which is, pretty reasonable. So if you're looking to do a little bit more of a budget trip, Doubletree can be pretty reasonable. Mm-hmm. They have the Tapestry Collection by Hilton. They have Embassy Suites, which is one of my favorites. They have basically 2 hours where you can drink all you want.
Oh, yeah, like that.
We talked about this on the the Cincinnati episode, I think.
Yeah.
So all the rooms, I believe, are 2-room suites. They have made to order breakfast every morning. They have complimentary drinks and snacks every evening for 2 hours. And they have over 200 locations. So Embassy Suites is one of my favorites. It's pretty reasonable, I think, for what you get. The beds are really comfortable there. The beds are also really comfortable at the Hampton Inn. So Hampton Inn is also underneath the Hilton banner. They have the Hilton Garden Inn. They have True by Hilton. They have Homewood Suites. They have Home 2 Suites. And they have Hilton Grand Vacations. So Homewood Suites and Home 2 Suites are more for like an extended stay type thing. If you were maybe going with your family or something like that, you wanted a kitchen. They have utensils there. They have plates. They have like a table, like a place where you guys can sit down and eat. So if you wanted to be able to, say, eat in the room and have like a dinner, as opposed to going out and spending all your money on meals out, Homewood Suites and Home 2 Suites are excellent deals. And everywhere I've been, they've always been fairly reasonably priced, I thought.
Yeah.
So you get a lot for your money there as well. So, and all of these, you all get to get points. So you get a Hilton Honors membership, and then you rack up all your points. And as you rack up points, then you get free stays. So then to further expand on that, I have a Hilton American Express card. So on my Hilton American Express card, I get even more points. So you get to rack up all your points on your Hilton American Express for all your stays. And then there's, all kinds of memberships with that, or benefits with that, as well as experiences that is offered through Hilton that you can do that are very interesting. So like one of the thing is a couple's getaway in New Zealand. Join the Pro-Am, the American British Open. So you get to be a part of that somehow. I'm not sure. I'm not reading into all these, but sport fishing. You get to catch and then cook your own food. So if you're in Fort Lauderdale, this is an experience you can sign up. So if you save up, a bunch of points, you can burn up your points doing stuff like this. Ultimate wellness experience in India. There is Bass Pro Shops night race weekend experience at Bristol, Tennessee. VIP Texas Rangers experience. Jennifer Lopez concert tickets. I know Nicole wants that.
I like concerts. I don't know.
Right? Luxurious and relaxing digital detox at Triton Place and for sales, France. I mean, there's just, and it goes on and on and on. There's 5 different pages of experiences that you can do.
What?
There's concerts. There's all kinds of different things. So it's not just, I can cash this in for a free hotel room. Yes, that's very nice. That allows you to take your next vacation cheaper. But you can also go and have an experience that you couldn't get elsewhere. I saw they had backstage experience with Justin Timberlake. I mean, they have very exclusive things that would be very difficult for you to get on your own that you can cash in for an experience.
Okay. And you get these points from anything that you use the card for?
Anything that you use the card for. There are things that you get more points for than others. I think fuel you get more points for. Obviously, you get the most points for using it at a Hilton resort.
Okay.
So if you use it on your Hilton room, so I book my room, I use my Hilton Honors number, and then I also use my Hilton credit card, and then that gets me mega points.
That is awesome.
So, and also when I signed up for the Hilton Honors card, I think I got like 150,000 points just for signing up.
Wow.
And then they have typical other little things that they have you sign up for. You can get an additional credit card for a friend or a spouse or whatever. And if you get an additional credit card and you spend X amount, I think it's, last time I checked, it was like $250 within the first 90 days, you got an extra 5,000 points.
Wow. And then like how many points on average is like one of these experiences? Just
most of these experiences are 150,000 points or more. So, but if you signed up, you could get one of these experiences right out the gate.
Wow.
So, and I think, I mean, don't quote me on this, but a general room at like, say, a Hampton Inn, I think is about 40,000 points.
Oh, that's not bad. 40,
so if you had, so it's about 45,000, I believe. So,
wow.
So now obviously a Waldorf Astoria is going to be a lot more, but I think a Waldorf Astoria is maybe 150,000 a night. So if you've always wanted to stay at a super high-end Waldorf Astoria resort, you can cash in your points and go stay at a room wherever you wanted to.
And just get it for buying things you'd always buy.
And then, and I use so I basically try to put everything that I possibly can on my Hilton card that I would do, all my fuel, all my groceries, all my everyday things. And then I try to pay it off at the end of every month. So then I'm not paying any interest on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're getting all these points for things that you would be doing anyways.
Genius idea.
So you just use it for all your everyday stuff.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, after a year, you've got enough points to at least shave half of a vacation off.
Yeah.
So now you're only paying for 3 days instead of 7 days or something, So
yeah, and you know what? It doesn't really take anything extra other than being disciplined to
pay
attention at the end of the month.
If you let it build up, then you might get yourself in trouble. But
so just pay attention. That's
but
awesome.
as long as you just pay attention, and you just pay it off at the end of every month, and you just make sure that you're just putting fuel and things that you use anyways. I mean,
yeah.
Who
And
cares?
the thing I like about those experiences too is it might what if you find things on there that you might not have ever thought you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Like whoever knew that you'd want to go do a wellness thing in India. Like I never would have been like,
right.
Yeah, sign me up for that. But if
They have one on here called Sunrise Over the Dead Sea in Jerusalem. So I mean, there's all kinds of things on here that are, amazing.
And that's a wide range of things.
There's a gigantic ziplining thing that you can do in the UAE, United Arab Emirates. So, I mean, there's stuff all over the U.S. There's stuff all over the world. Bath, fragrance, and sleep master. I don't know what that means, but it's in the United Arab Emirates. So,
so cool.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a lot of those things you might not ever want. But you know what's also cool is like a lot of people from different walks of life can enjoy all of that because there's such a dynamic amount of things on there. That's so cool. Yeah.
So they have it in 4 different categories. They have music, sports, culture, and food. So some of the food ones were some of the coolest ones I thought. Let me pull one of these up real quick. Well, it's not pulling food ones up. I must have done something wrong, but it said meet Hootie and the Blowfish before their show.
What? That's on there?
So if you want to meet Hootie and the Blowfish, that's only 100,000 points. So for 100,000 points, you can meet Hootie and the Blowfish.
That is
So,
amazing.
New Kids on the Block concert, Atlanta, Georgia.
Had a bunch of
So the only thing that's a little bit of a bummer about this is they're not in like every single city. So you can't like meet New Kids on the Block in your own city. So this is only available in Atlanta.
Yeah, well, it's probably part of the perk for them is getting you to go and travel
Correct,
somewhere.
yeah.
Correct.
So
right?
they have, but see, like on the Hootie and the Blowfish thing, they have 2 different ones. So you can go to Barstow, Virginia, or Camden, New Jersey.
Oh.
So, and they're both 100,000 points. So I mean, if if you're disciplined about it, you can save up probably 100,000 points a year. So.
Wow, do one of these every year.
I do something like this every year, or at least every other year, depending upon, how much you travel. And so I just make sure that I always stay at a Hilton branded hotel. So, and because they have 12 different ones or whatever it is, it's not really that hard. So as long as you're staying in their portfolio somewhere, you're always racking up points. And then if not, I'm always racking up points on gas and groceries and stuff like that anyways. So,
have you ever done an experience?
I have not. No, I've been saving.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have my points right now, but I got quite a few points.
Yeah.
So I've been saving up. I've been saving up for what I originally was saving up for is trying to stay like 7 days at a Waldorf Astoria is what I'm trying to save up for.
Okay.
I want to stay at to stay at like a mega resort somewhere that's like ultra high end luxury. That you wouldn't normally justify yourself, spending that kind of money on. Yeah. But because it's points, it's not really the same, so.
Now, and I remember, didn't we talk about this in the Cincinnati podcast, but you can also use your Hilton Honors to get like longer stays. Like you can later checkouts. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, I also do that. Yeah, I get later checkouts. Let me see if I can.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a big thing, but when you're traveling, sometimes getting to sleep in is amazing.
Yeah.
Especially you've been out doing something all day, the day before, the day of, you want to just like wake up, slowly pack all your stuff and leave.
Okay, yeah, here. So I am a gold member on this is just my Hilton Honors thing. So you get this based on the number of stays that you stay in a year. So this doesn't even, you take the credit card out of the equation, this doesn't really even have anything to do with the credit card. So this is just by being an Honors member. So you get 80% elite bonus, which means you get 80% more points for that room than you would if you were just a regular member. So you get a free continental breakfast. If there is space available, you get upgraded to a better room. So there is milestone bonuses, which I think means like if you stay X number of days, you start getting a bonus after you stay a certain number of days.
Wow.
So when you check in, they give you free bottled water. There's elite rollover nights. So if you have extra nights, they just roll them over to the next year. Every 5th night is a rewarded stay. So you stay for 5 nights, you get the 6th night for free.
Wow.
So free Wi-Fi, free digital check-in, free digital key, free late checkout, second guest stays free, which I think is something that they just kind of throw in there. I think they don't charge for extra people, but
Well,
but one of the favorite ones that I use a lot is the late checkout. So it's very nice to be able to stay somewhere and be able to get like a 2:00 checkout or something like that. If you don't want to rush out.
especially if you've been at that Embassy Suites and you have those the drinks the night before for free.
Yeah, especially if you participated in the executive happy hour and you got more happy than you bargained for.
You're a little less executive, a little more happy.
So, and then you can also customize your hotel benefits, so you can pick like a brand. And let me just try this real quick. So you can pick a brand, and you can do like either you can get your free bottle of water, or you get one free snack item. I forgot about that. So if you stay at a Hampton Inn, you get 1 bottle of water and 1 free snack, or you can not take that and you can get 250 extra points on that stay.
Oh.
So if you're trying to rack up points really quickly so you can take your luxury vacation somewhere,
Yeah.
you just rack up your points and bring your own bottle of water. Yeah.
Right. Well, they usually have water in the room too. I mean, you have to pay for it, but
you have to pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot to this, and it really is a good deal as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So I highly, highly recommend it. I've been doing it for a while. They are not sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, please let us know.
Sponsor,
not
be a
sponsor.
sponsor.
Could be a sponsor, possibly a sponsor.
we'd love you a sponsor.
So, but no, Hilton is not paying me anything for this. So this is just my personal experience that I'm sharing with you so that you can live a fuller life and be able to do more travel, which is why we're all here, right?
Yes, that's an awesome idea. I love that.
So
That experience thing is wonderful.
yeah.
So the other thing, I know we kind of touched on this a little bit, but like, okay, we know all these things. We know how much money we need. We know some things to save some money. But also just like getting through that nitty gritty time of like, I have the next 6 months to put money away and wait for this whole vacation. How do I keep myself on track? Right? Do you ever do that? You ever like, okay, I have this goal, I want to go here, but then like something sidetracks you?
Well, that's when you go and try to do the free things.
Yeah, you go and try to do the free things. Also, they talked about too, like maybe putting up some reminders for yourself. So if you're going to like the beach or the mountains or something like that, maybe hanging up pictures at your desk.
So you can do motivators.
Yeah, so like if you're working, okay, I want to work extra hours today.
So I want to go to Key West, so I'm going to put up a picture of Key West Beach or something like that.
Yeah,
or the town of Key West, something, your favorite bar down there or your favorite hotel, whatever, and that's going to be your motivator. So every day when you're working, you stay disciplined.
You're like, this is what it's going to feel like. I'm just going to keep, I'm going to work 2 hours extra today so I can keep my eye on the prize.
This is what I'm working for.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea. And they also talked about that for kids too, like getting together and maybe cutting out pictures from like a magazine or printing pictures offline and making maybe like a storyboard of like, this is what we're going to do, where we're going to go.
That's a good idea.
When they are crying and whining about, oh, I want to get this new tablet or I don't know, whatever they might want, you might be like, okay, but don't you remember we're going to go here? Just try to.
Do you want the new video game or do you want to go to the beach?
Yeah. Do you want to swim with the dolphins?
Right, yeah.
Like, I'd be like, yeah, I want to swim with the dolphins. Of course, kids don't always have that forward thinking like we do, but you can teach that to them and grow that in them.
Correct.
So I thought that was a good one. Then they also talked too about just really researching your destination as much as you can. So learning the ins and outs of wherever you're going is going to save you money actually in the long run.
Yeah.
And speaking with people who have been there before, who might have like hidden things that they know about it, how to save in this area or avoid this costly thing, or this attraction looks great but it's really not worth your money, but this one is.
Any tips that you can get, I definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
So if you know people that have been to the area where you're going, you should definitely pick their brain.
Yeah, for sure. And they talked about too, like a lot of times you can go in forums and chat rooms online and find people who've been there. Even, like maybe you don't have anybody. Nobody's ever been to Key West, but you want to go. Go online. There's some forums you can go and look and have people help you try to find out little tidbits of information. I thought that was a good idea.
You know another thing that I do?
What?
I do side jobs. I do a side hustle.
Do you?
So you can do a side hustle. You can do, what's the dog walking app? Wag.
Yeah.
Wag.
Yeah.
So you can do the dog walking, you can do TaskRabbit, you can do, Etsy, you can do blogging, you can Uber, all these, there's all these different little side hustles that you can do to, just kind of all that much more, try to just work.
Yep.
Especially like I said, if it's wintertime, you're not really doing much fun anyways, why not work so you can afford to do what you want to in the summer.
Yeah. And find something that you like enjoy doing. If you have a hobby you like doing, like maybe you like
Crocheting.
antiquing.
I like to crochet.
I know you do. I saw you doing it. Cross stitch.
I like to, I also like to antique. So you catch me at the antique malls all the time.
Oh, yeah. He likes to latch hook.
Latch hook? I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what a latch hook is?
Is that some kind of crocheting?
It's like a hook and you latch it. It's a latch hook.
I don't know.
It's kind of like... It's kind of like a picture. Anyways.
Interesting.
All the things. You can do a lot of things. Or, and the thing I like about this, too, is it doesn't have to be a forever thing. I think sometimes when people think about getting a side job or a second job, they're like, okay, here's something to add to my plate. But if you've already created that budget, you already have that amount that you need, you know how much you're going to make extra from this job, then okay, if I need $3,000 and I'm making $1,000 a month here, I only have to do this for 3 months.
That's what I like about side hustles is
right?
You only have to do it as long as you want to do it. And when you're ready to stop doing it, you just take yourself off the schedule.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, I'm
Uber,
done.
all that kind of stuff. You're just like, okay, I don't want to work today. So you just take yourself right off the schedule. So, and if something does come up, you got some friends their family that's coming into town, friends that are going to a concert, something, little like that, just take yourself off the schedule and go do it.
Yeah. You're like, I don't feel like, crocheting today.
I don't feel like driving idiots around today.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to be careful, though, of your side hustle. Because sometimes it can turn into...
Don't ruin your car.
Yeah, like more money than what it's worth.
Don't get people puking in your car. Don't pick up people from the bars.
Yeah, for sure. But there's so many different apps out there and things like that you can always... find something that you enjoy.
Another thing that I had that I kind of thought was a good idea was, do you ever use the grocery service from like Walmart where you can like order stuff ahead of time and then you just drive up and you pick it up?
Yeah.
You could do that like on a vacation if you wanted.
Yeah.
Especially if you're staying at one of those, Hilton hotels that had like a kitchen in them or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You could order stuff, especially if you have a spouse riding in the car with you or something like that. You can do an order on the Walmart app. You can put together an order, and then if you're driving somewhere, when you get into town, you just swing by and pick it up. Boom, you don't have to go inside. You're not wasting an hour in the store, and that's an hour more time that you're at the beach.
That's so funny that you say that. That was something I hated as a kid when we would go on vacation, and my parents would be like, we're going to go to the grocery store. And you're like, okay.
Waste time at the grocery store.
Like, there's 4 hours of our trip.
I want to go to the beach.
And it's always like right when you get there, when you want to go to all the, you want to go to the beach right when you get there.
First thing you want to do is go to the beach.
Yeah.
You want to get your toes in the sand.
Yes.
What is it? Ass in the water, toes in the sand? Something like that?
I don't know.
Ass in the lawn chair, toes in the sand.
I mean,
it's a country song, y'all.
All of it can be in the sand. It's okay.
Oh
Actually, that's another side hustle. Did you know that there's an app, which I can't think of the name right now?
Toes in the sand?
That's not a side hustle.
It should be.
No, where you can go and shop for people.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one, too. If you're good at, like, picking out produce and whatnot. That's a good one.
Hey, if someone will hire you to do it, do it.
I mean, you can spend other people's money. So it's a beautiful thing.
You can do your shopping fix for you. I love to shop. I just don't want to spend my own money.
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah. So I think that's a lot of what you can do on before the trip, right? I think that's a lot of good things. You got anything else?
I do not, and I was going to try to get to our fleeting gem.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to make sure that we wrapped up on all our stuff for the show before we moved on.
Well,
Do you got anything else? Are we missing anything?
the other thing I was thinking of too, was they did talk about like using your Google Maps too to like avoid different toll roads and things
Oh, that's
like
a good
that.
idea.
Also, they talked about being careful with souvenirs when you're buying them too. I thought that was very impressive.
Yeah,
'cause-
my tip on souvenirs is that you go and you do your souvenir shopping kind of as you go, because usually, like if you're at a beach town or something like that, you're around all the same stuff. You're really not generally going that far away. So I kind of look at stuff. So if you're on a 7-day trip, I look at stuff for like 6 days, and then I make a decision at the end. What did I see over the 6 days that I really liked? And I get one thing. Instead
Yeah.
of buying one thing the first day, and then the second day you're like, oh, I like this so much better, so now I got to buy this too. And then the third day you're like, oh, this is cool too. And then by the time you get to the end of the week, you've been spending money all week long.
yeah.
So, and especially if you go like through your whole entire trip and you're like, oh, I've spent $250, riding a jet ski around or something like that, now you know that you need to modify your souvenir budget at the end.
for
So
sure.
instead of spending money the whole entire time, you're like, oh, I can't do this jet skiing thing now because I spent $300 on a new outfit at whatever,
Right, yeah, yeah. That's the other thing I like to do too, because my favorite souvenir is an ornament.
So you get a new ornament for the tree every year?
Yeah, because
I think
want
that's a good one, yeah.
I want my tree to be full of places I've been, and that's it.
When I'm in the RV, I always try to get like a magnet. I put a new magnet in there, so I get a new magnet for every location I am. Then when you get in there, you can like look at it like, ooh, remember when we went here? This was cool.
I know, right? That's my favorite thing. And so, like, when I go somewhere, I think I went to Savannah. There's like, we went to Savannah, we went to Charleston, a bunch of different places around there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to find what I love the most about Savannah. That way, when I pick my ornament, I want the one.
Well, what do you love the most about Savannah?
I probably love the most is the town squares. So
Do they have a town square ornament?
no, they didn't. I didn't get one. But I mean, sometimes it's like, okay, did I want to get an ornament for that, or did I want to get an ornament for Tybee Island, or did I want because there's different places there that we visited.
Yeah.
So I got one like just specific to like downtown
Yeah.
Savannah. So then when you go to look at it, you're like, oh, I remember that. That's my favorite one.
Very nice.
So, yeah. And then the last little tip that they had too was when you're going places, you want to look and see if there's any student discounts. So if you're in college or whatever the case may be, or days where like museums might have free admission.
That's a good idea, yeah.
A lot of times they do have that through the week. And if you're on vacation, you might be able to catch that.
Take advantage of the discounts for sure.
So yeah. I guess that goes along with like just researching the place that you're going.
Yeah.
But for sure, think about those things. For
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
We covered everything?
All right.
So today I have another fleeting gem. If you listen to our last 2 episodes, you remember that we normally have a hidden gem. And we've been doing fleeting gems, which are things that you should go check out before they disappear due to climate change. So even though this episode isn't specifically about climate change, I thought I would do one more fleeting gem, sticking with our theme from the last 2 weeks. So today's fleeting gem. Today's fleeting gem. I gotta say it I gotta say it in my radio voice. In today's fleeting gem, we have the Great Barrier Reef.
Ooh.
Now that the oceans have the acidification working. The acidification of the ocean basically works to kill coral at the center of the ecosystem for virtually all coral reefs around the world. While it's not only in Australia's Great Barrier Reef, which is also the biggest one and can actually be seen from outer space, it's all the coral reefs all over the world that are all falling prey to the rising temperatures and the acidification of the oceans. So, and basically what happens is it starts like bleaching it out. So all those beautiful colors that it all turns like a bleached out white.
Oh.
So, and it's dying off, and it's a very essential part of the ecosystem in the ocean. So not only is it beautiful, it's also essential for all the fish and everything down there as well. So it's one of those things that you should probably go and check out before it's too late.
Because that would be a shame to miss out on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's beautiful.
So I signed up for it next week.
You did?
Yeah, I'm going to hop on a bus.
On a bus? Oh, that's sad.
I'm gonna take a bus to Australia. So
Oh, it's like a
40
submarine?
It takes 46 days.
Wow, okay. Let me know how that works out for you.
That's today's fleeting gem. And now it's time for today's Don't Do That.
Don't do it.
Today's Don't Do That is don't be penny wise and pound foolish.
Oh, what does that mean?
I really kind of like this one. So, as they say, time is money. And since travelers tend to have more time than money, they save money at the expense of time, which I guess kind of makes sense in the theory, you know.
Yeah.
So, however, your time is worth something. So, it may save you $2 by walking instead of taking the bus. But if it takes you an extra hour to get where you were going, is it really worth it?
Absolutely not.
To me, it is absolutely not worth it.
Right.
I would rather have that extra hour.
Yeah.
So I think everybody forgets that on vacation. They always think, oh, I got nothing but time. I got a whole week. But then you get to the end of your trip and you're like, hey, we really didn't do that much.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it too is like how many vacation hours I get per year.
Yeah.
So how long do I have to work to get that vacation hour?
Yeah.
And then I'm wasting it waiting for travel.
Yeah.
If you look at it that way, then it does actually cost you money.
So what do you get 3 hours a week? And then what you were talking about the other day? You get 3 per week. So you get 6
No,
per
I
check?
found out that I get 3 per check. I thought it was 3 per week.
So you only get 6 per month.
So that's like
So you got to
2
work a whole
weeks.
month to get 6 hours of vacation. So
And
when
then
you start thinking about it like that, you're definitely not going to walk
then if you
anywhere.
if you think of like a layover, layovers can be what?
Yeah.
3 hours? That's 2 weeks worth of work.
Yeah. So you may be able to save $30 by taking a flight with 2 connections. But is it really worth it when you're going to arrive miserable and tired? I hate layovers.
Yeah.
I hate connections. If I'm going somewhere, if at all possible, I want to take a direct flight.
Yeah.
I want to get there. I want to get there fast, and I want to be there and enjoying things. I do not want to be miserable.
Yeah. I think that too about like driving halfway somewhere. Sometimes, you know, you might spend extra money staying the night somewhere, like staying the night halfway, but then you're going to get there and have the whole day to enjoy it. Versus if you drive maybe 15 hours straight and you get there,
You're spent.
your whole
You're
day is
wiped.
gone. Yeah.
So, my tip for that, too, is I always try to drive a little more than halfway. Mm-hmm. I always try to, if it's a, 16-hour trip, I try to drive 10 the first day. And then you're getting there at 6 hours the second day, and you have more time, and you're there, and you're more refreshed, and you're, better shape for the second day.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, budget travel is not a race to the bottom. It's about being smart with both your time and money, and avoid wasting time as much as you try to avoid wasting money.
Oh, that's good.
So,
I love that, yeah.
that's a really good tip. So,
Because your time is valuable.
So don't waste your time. Your time is precious.
Time is money.
You're only on this earth for a limited time, so use your time wisely,
Yes.
especially on vacation. If you're going to waste time anywhere, waste time at work.
Right.
Don't tell your boss I said that.
Take those long bathroom breaks.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That is today's Don't Do That. All right, everybody. That is today's show. So we wanted to thank everybody like we always do. And I thought we'd do a couple shout outs. So let's see if there's anybody new out there who are new peeps out there.
Yeah. We got a lot of new listeners this last couple weeks.
A lot of new listeners.
Yeah.
We got new people. We got quite a few new people in the U.S. So I will shout out some of our new people in the U.S. We got a bunch of new people in Vermont. Thank you, Vermont. We got new people in Connecticut. We got new people in New Jersey.
Ooh.
I think we had a couple people in New Jersey before, but I don't think we ever shouted you guys out before. So thank you, New Jersey. We appreciate you. We got new listeners in Virginia. We got new listeners in Maryland.
Ooh.
And we finally got some listeners in Michigan. We've been trying to get Michigan for a long time because it's just north of Indiana. And
Yeah.
we really were kind of feeling a little left out, like Michigan didn't like us for some reason. So thank you, Michigan, for finally tuning in. We super appreciate it.
We're your sibling to the south.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all our new people. I don't know if we have new overseas listeners.
I think we did. Did we get?
Well, we got new people in Norway, but I think we talked about them last time. New people in Norway, Sweden, Italy,
Japan.
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 Thank you. What is it? Konnichiwa? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Australia, New Zealand are hanging tough. They keep listening every week. We appreciate you guys.
Love it.
So yeah, we're growing, and we appreciate everybody that tunes in. And if you can please leave us a review on iTunes, especially a 5-star review, that would be super beneficial.
Leave what you
So,
feel.
please, yeah, you can leave us whatever you feel, because
Yes.
we're always open to feedback for sure. But if you wanted to, say something negative, maybe you could just send that to manictravelerpodcast@gmail.com. And
Right.
and we'll figure out the best way to handle that. So
Yes. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I hope this helped people spark some interest for saving for their trips for this upcoming summer.
So yeah, we know everybody wants to travel. That's why we're here. So
Yeah.
we all got to figure out a way to do it.
And we want to hear your travel stories too.
Yes.
So
So
if you
please
have
tell us
any-
your travel stories, nomadictravelerpodcast@gmail.com. Any comments, anything good that you got, please share with us. We always appreciate it.
And Nomadic Traveler Podcast on Facebook.
And Nomadic Traveler Podcast on Facebook. Yes, please tune in there. We have lots of new likes on there. So we definitely appreciate everybody on there. And we have been trying to put out new content daily as much as possible. And we always give a heads up when we're releasing new shows. So if you're on there, and you're on your Facebook, you'll see when we release new shows. So generally our new shows should be coming out every Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So depending upon where you're at in the world, extrapolate that any way you want. But that's generally when we should be releasing new shows. So that's the pattern we're trying to stick to as best as possible.
Yes. Thank you guys for being loyal listeners.
Thank you. And that's our show for the day.
Bye.
See you next week.